right,
With them through.
we're going to get started. If you begin with an opening statement. Men's soccer went 0-1 last weekend, a tie with UC Irvine, and a loss to Stanford.
Yeah, no, obviously we were excited to get the season started over the weekend in California. It was no secret that we were going into an environment that we knew was going to be tough opposition, especially in that first match against Stanford, being one of the best programs in the country. And so we were excited. And I think in the start of that match, maybe a little bit too hyped, where we let our emotions take control a little bit. And that led to for Stanford to be able to take control of the game in that first 15, 20 minutes. I thought they were in control of the match. But we settled in. After giving up 2 goals, we were able to finish off that first half on a positive note. We played more of our brand of football and we're able to get 4 or 5 corner kicks in succession towards the end of that first half, and we're able to get a goal back. And I thought we were able to bring some momentum back into that match starting the second half. And unfortunately, through our push to try and tie the match, we gave up a third goal that I think kind of put it out of reach for us a little bit. But nonetheless, some good learning experiences, some good lessons for us. And I thought that we were better actually against UC Irvine, and then some of the things that we took away from the Stanford match. Again, not the result that we want in a 0-0 tie. In fact, I think that was the first time we've been shut out in quite a while, over a year. But nonetheless, some improvements from the Stanford match onto that second match, and so some tough learning, some tough lessons that we learned over the weekend that now we can bring forward to the rest of the season and even into Friday against Grand Canyon.
The last time the team was shut out was the Tulsa loss in the NCAA tournament 2001 season. Open the floor to questions.
When you look back at the Stanford match, I imagine you've watched the film and the guys have seen some clips. When you get that goal back and you start to build and you're creating corner kicks and you're starting to have some of the more opportunities, like what did you think stopped that from sustaining? Like how would you like to see the guys extend that time period of advantage play?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we weren't spot on doing, which I thought was one of our strengths in preseason, was being able to attack, but then be in good positions to counter press and maximize our opportunity to attack. And so as we're going on the attack, we're not being as diligent as we need to be to position ourselves in a part of the field in the attacking third where if we don't succeed on that attack in regards to a scoring opportunity, we're able to reestablish possession of the ball quickly so that we can get another opportunity on goal, which I thought we did pretty well this preseason. We didn't do so well against Stanford.
Any concern with the offense at this stage, or is it just early, the chances will come and the goals will come too?
Yeah, there's no concern with our offensive prowess, if you will. One of our principles is to be able to get box touches. And so we're arriving to the box, which will, in essence, become opportunities on goal. So it's definitely not the time to hit the panic button. There's still a lot of football left. We've only played 2 matches. And so I got all the confidence in the world that we can get our attacking going.
Grand Canyon might have had the toughest opening weekend in the country at Wake, at Denver, 2 established programs on the road out of the chute. What did you see from their performances? Obviously, they're going to come in fearless for one because they've played top teams already.
You're forgetting the third matchup they have, which is against Creighton too. So yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just joking. Listen, and that was kind of our intent as well with our opening at Stanford and UC Irvine. So Grand Canyon is a very good program. Their head coach is a Creighton alum, so we're excited to see him come back to Creighton as well. And we know that they like to attack, and they're interested in bringing their lines up and having some opportunities on goal. So I think it'll be a fun match. I think our fans will really enjoy it because I think you'll see two teams that are going to come out and try and take handle of the match and get to goal.
What do you just make of Nathan's performances, kind of seeing extended game action for the first time in really several seasons now?
Yeah, no, I think Nathan has done a fine job. He had some great saves. There's still some growing to be done. Against Stanford, I thought he had some key moments in goal where he was able to make some great saves. But again, room for improvement is still there. I will say though, against UC Irvine, there was multiple opportunities where he kept us in the match, right? And I've always said this about goalkeepers. You try to recruit goalkeepers that are making the saves they're supposed to make, but you also want to recruit goalkeepers that can make one or two saves that they're not supposed to make. And Nathan definitely did that against UC Irvine to keep us in that match.
How did you assess Giorgio? I imagine he didn't get. I don't think he played against Missouri State, did he? Because I don't know if he was still out.
Yeah, no, he was out. Yeah, he was out.
Really, this weekend was his first.
Yeah, this was his
let it
first
rip.
time. Yeah.
How do you see him reacclimating after the injury?
Yeah, obviously he'd been out for quite a while. From a leader standpoint, it's an important addition to our group when he steps on the field. Now it's just a moment, or it's a matter about getting his fitness back to where it needs to be, while making sure that we're not re-aggravating his injury. And the same thing goes for Mark O'Neill, who was able to get time against Stanford, but got no minutes against UC Irvine. And those are two key components to our group, and we'll be excited to be able to get him back on the pitch.
With Mark not playing against Irvine, is that part of his just recovery plan, like with the short turnaround, or?
Yes, yeah. The last thing we wanted to do was get Mark out against Stanford, and then overextend him against UC Irvine, and then him being out for, additional time. So we were trying to be proactive on the side of erring on the side of being careful.
When Giorgio is right, what does he unlock for you guys?
Well, Georgia's a special player in that he does an excellent job at being able to bring others into the game. He sees passes that your average player doesn't see. And again, I've always said he's a high IQ type of soccer player. But outside of that, he's also a very good leader for us on the field, and someone that I think brings calm to our attack when we're on the ball.
We got time for one more question, Foster.
Is there any sense of urgency to kind of get that first win under your team's belt?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, now that we've gone 2 matches without a victory, there's definitely a sense of urgency, and the guys understand that, this next one is one that we need to get going. Even though we were able to be victorious on 2 occasions in preseason, it's regular season now, and so absolutely there's a sense of urgency. There will be.
How much enthusiasm are you seeing so far, knowing that it's the home opener? Like, no midweek match, just a build up to a Friday night Morrison Stadium under the lights.
There's a lot of excitement. We're pumped. We understand that it's a homecoming for us after being on the road for 5 days. We also understand there's a buzz that's going on right now, and that we're coming off a Final Four season in 22, and so guys are excited. They're chomping at the bit to get back out at Morrison Stadium.